What is going on, everybody on YouTube? I hope you guys are doing well today. I am Larry the Batman fan. So today we're going to be talking about the top 10 Wii role-playing games, or RPG games for short. There's not a ton of RPG games that I know of for the Wii, but there's still a substantial amount. And there's a few that I haven't really played. I just know by word of mouth that they are good ones. So it's going to be a good video here for you guys to watch and everything. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for clicking on this video, and be sure to subscribe to Larry the Batman Fan. Help me get to 400 subscribers. I'm really trying to get there. Been trying to get there for a long time. So hopefully you'll consider subscribing and help me out greatly. Because it really does, you know. So a few honorable mentions before we get started would be Baroque. That's Baroque. I don't have that game in my collection. I've heard it's a good game. It's also available on the PlayStation 2 from what I found out, but it's on the Wii. But it's a good RPG game on the Wii. Exploring the towns and everything, and seeing the cities and whatnot. And there's mechanics in it. I forget. Like there's some sort of mechanics in it. Like if you die, something happens. You know, you like lose your valuables or something. It's an interesting RPG game, but I don't own it and I've never played it. I've only seen gameplay of it because there's YouTube here. Opuna is another interesting RPG. It's more kid-friendly. It's an E10 game. But Opuna was one that actually made my Wii Hidden Gems list because it is an underrated Wii game, I feel. And it's a good RPG game on the Wii that is not widely talked about. There's only a few YouTube channels that have talked about it, but it's a really fun RPG game for the Wii. The characters in the game, I heard you can actually have your Mii character in the game, from what I heard. And it's a good aspect to the game. It's a nice touch to add that in there. I forget the storyline of the game. I have to type it down in the comments below. But that's another one. And then there's also Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, which there's been a whole bunch of Fire Emblem games, and honestly, I have not played any of them. Mainly because a lot of them, they skyrocketed in price. They're really not that cheap to get. If they were a lot cheaper, I could probably get one. But I'm hoping to eventually get at least one Fire Emblem game in my collection, some way, somehow. Because I have never played any of the Fire Emblem games. I haven't even played the ones on the 3DS. Now I'm trying to get the ones on the 3DS. They're really expensive. $70 to $100, $100+ for one Fire Emblem game. It's fucking crazy. Just insane, you know? But Fire Emblem, from what I heard, it's an RPG game made by Nintendo where there's like all this battling, and it's got like a grid, so it's like a turn-based RPG type of thing. But like, if your character dies, then that's it. He's dead, or she's dead. They're not coming back. So it's kind of like reality. You get one life, one chance at life on Earth to do good things and be a good person, and then when you die, you stand before the Lord, and then He judges you. You know, to let you know what you did that was wrong, and what you did was okay. What was right and wrong, basically. And then He decides if He wants to let you in or not. A lot of secular people don't believe in that afterlife. I do. I believe in Jesus, so I believe in that. But anyways, this isn't a religious video. This is about video games. But just Just had to throw that out there. But yeah, the Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn is on the Wii. It's exclusive to the Wii. It's a really good game, but it's expensive. Be prepared to pay about $100 for a copy because I'm seeing it on eBay, and the lowest I'm seeing is like $80 plus shipping. So even with the shipping and the tax, you're gonna pay almost $100, if not over $100 with that shipping. So maybe $110 or $115 for that game. But it is a damn good Nintendo Wii RPG. Alright, so I pulled out of my collection last night 6 games that I consider to be RPG worthy. I know I also have somewhere in my collection, I have Zelda, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, which could also be considered an RPG game. And Final Fantasy The Crystal Bears, I do have that somewhere, but when I was looking for it last night, I couldn't find it. But these are some RPGs in my collection. Well, honestly, this is the top 10. I've got 6 here. So we're going to start with number 10. And I'm going to give that to probably No More Heroes 2. In fact, I know where that game is. Bear with me a moment. There we go, I found it. No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle. Now, yeah, this game, it is light on the RPG elements, but I still consider it partially an RPG because there are some parts in the game that isn't really violent. You're like mowing grass and you're doing like chores and stuff to earn money to become a more lethal assassin in this game. You know, yeah. So, and you do make like hamburgers and hot dogs for people in this game. No More Heroes 2. So it does have some RPG elements in the game, but at its core, it's more of an action hack and slash game, and it's a pretty violent one at that too because of the blood and gore in the game. I mean, but Nintendo needed some M-rated titles for the Wii, but you know, they didn't have a ton of M-rated games besides Dead Space Extraction, the House of the Dead games, the 2 and 3 returns, and the Overkill. You know, stuff like Call of Duty and Mad World, and Onichan Bara, or Bara, however you say it. That zombie slaying game where you play with women in bikinis. That game, that was them too. And Manhunt 2. But anyways, yeah, this I do consider sort of an RPG because of the mechanics and everything, and it's good. The first game had some RPG elements in it too, but not as heavily as this one. But I could consider this an RPG, and it's good. I like it. So number 9. Number 9. Let's see. What would we do for number 9? Number 9 is Phantom Brave. Phantom Brave's a good RPG game on the Wii, and I think this one's also underrated because I don't hear anybody talking about it. To be honest with y'all, there isn't that many people that are talking about it. Now, the game is also on the PS2, but if you don't own a PS2 and you just have a Wii, then it's perfect for you to get that version of the game because it is a solid game on the Wii. The graphics look beautiful in the game, and the gameplay kind of plays a little bit like Disgaea in a way, but it's done really well. The story, there is a lot of dialogue in it, so if you don't have the patience for that type of RPG where there's a lot of talking and their mouth moves like that, but you don't really hear a lot of audio. You gotta like read the dialogue and everything. Some RPG games do that, but you know if you don't have the patience for it, then you're not gonna like this game. But if you do have the patience for it, then I think you'll like it. And it's one of those RPG games where you hit the character and then go back and forth. So I think that's considered a turn-based RPG because you know action RPGs don't really have that. You're just whacking enemies until one of them's dead. It's kind of like Zelda, you know. So yeah, it's good. It's a good game. And then we're at number 8. I would say Spectro's Origins. Spectro's Origins is basically a RPG game in space. It's available on the Nintendo DS as well, but it's also on the Wii. I'm pretty sure I do have that for the Wii. I would show a copy of it, but I didn't see it in my stack of Wii games over here. And I've got like around 160 Wii games, you know. But yeah, I can't find it right now. But it's good, you know. And if you're looking to play it on a console, it's perfect. Although I am surprised they didn't put the first Spectros game on the Wii. It was exclusive to the Nintendo DS. And there's a third one on the DS, and it's not available on the Wii. So the only one that you can play on the DS or the Wii is Spectro's Origins. But it's a really fun game in space. It's you, a guy, and a girl go through the levels and you whack enemies. So I wouldn't say it was turn-based. I'd say it's more action RPG, but in space. And there are other characters later on that you talk to the game to progress in the game. You know, the graphics do look good for a Wii game, and they are definitely visually stunning looking. And definitely a game to check out on the Wii. Alright, so now we're at number 7. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put Final Fantasy The Crystal Bears on there. I don't have it in my stack here, but I do have that game, like I said. But that's an action RPG. Or maybe I said that wrong. It might be a turn-based, I forget. But I remember there being some parts where it wasn't really turn-based. It felt more action-oriented because you were climbing up ladders and you were helping people with shit, you know. So it didn't really feel like it. Had a nice story in it. Remember this town to explore. It was really fucking big to explore in, and looting, you know, finding items and shit. And the game was pretty. Well, it was a little bit of a pain in the ass to be honest with you, but because it took a while to get to finding that shit. But once you did, it was helpful because like you could upgrade your weapons and things like that in the game that made it interesting. So yeah, that was a nice touch to it. But it like I said, it just seemed like it took a while to get to that point. You find one piece of gold and then like you can't buy anything, you can't do anything with it, until like you got more, so you could build up your money. Because gold they used for money in the game, or jewels. Then you could trade it in and upgrade your sword and things like that. So, but like I said, it took a long ass time to get to that point. But overall, it's still a pretty good game. Number six, I consider this an RPG, but some people don't consider it an RPG. They consider it more of an adventure game. That's The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This is a really good game. The only Zelda game with a T rating on it because it was a little bit darker and a little bit more violent than the other Zelda games. Play as Link in the game, you go around. It's an action RPG slash adventure game, we'll call it that. Even though I always looked at Zelda as an RPG, but it's not a turn-based RPG game because there's um, there's no you whacking the enemy and then the enemy whacking you until one of you is dead and you hope that you're not dead. No, it doesn't play like that at all. It plays more like your typical action RPG because you whack enemies with a sword until they die. You know, and then there's the riding on the horse and shit in the game, which was fun. The graphics, I will say, going back to it now, they look a little bit dated. They could have looked a little bit cleaner. They don't hold up as well. I mean, this game came out, what, 2007? I don't see a copyright date on the back here. No, I see it, 2006. Yeah, that's why this game was also on the GameCube. And then later on, we re-released on the Nintendo Wii U, you know, the HD remake. But yeah, this is still a great game. If it's the only version you have, it's still a great game. It's still a lot of fun. Um, there's a lot to do in this game. Jumping mechanics can be a little bit of a pain, especially with the Wii remote. That motion control crap can be a bit annoying. I mean, with the GameCube, it didn't have that, so jumping on certain things, trying not to fall in water, can be a little bit of a pain. But once you get the hang of it, it's actually a really fun game, even on the Wii. There is some parts in it with motion control, but the motion control, for the most part, I feel it works pretty well. So, yeah, like, I didn't mind it, honestly. It's still a great game for the Wii. Still a lot of fun. Still a lot of stuff to do to keep you entertained for hours. You know? Great game, you know. Then we have at number 5, I'm going to go ahead and give it to this one right here. It's Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World. Remember, I got this game a lot with a bunch of other Wii games. Back when I was talking to Hubchu, which he evidently cut ties with me, doesn't want to talk to me for whatever reason. I have no clue. But there was a few Wii games in there that I decided to keep. This, SX Explorer, Wii Sports, Resort, and a couple other titles. Because I had one a bid on like eBay, but a lot of them were dog shit, but they weren't really that great for Wii games, and I passed those on to him with a couple of great ones. But I definitely had to keep this. You know, I definitely wanted this. This is a turn-based RPG series that has been going on for a very long time. This, I believe, is a updated version of the GameCube version, which I never played. The GameCube version nowadays is really expensive, so you're better off getting this version. If you're a cheap collector, a budget collector, then this is the version to get. But it's a turn-based RPG with anime characters, good storyline and everything. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. I forget this. I only played like an hour of this game. I need to go back to it. But it says, in the aftermath of the world regeneration or new conflict awaits, a young boy confronts the heroes of the past to save the world in the brink of destruction. And as I recall, it was two main characters in this game that you got to play as, a boy and a girl. Um, the graphics are pretty good for the Wii, and the gameplay is fun, but like I said, you have to have patience for a turn-based RPG. but it is done right on the Wii. Plays really well. It just sucks you can't use the GameCube controller with this. It would be nice if you could, but you can't. So you have to use the Wii remote and the nunchuck. And it's the only thing I believe it's backwards compatible with, or compatible with rather, is this. Alright, now we're in the top 4, I believe. I might have messed up the count, but we're in the top 4 from what I see here. And honestly, I have to give it to Monster Hunter 3 is next. Yeah, I need to play more Monster Hunter, honestly. There's been one on the PS2, and there's been this one on the Wii. You had the third game, I believe, is also on the Wii U, but it was a little bit different than this version of the game. I do own that for the Wii U. And then there's also Monster Hunter World for PS4 and Xbox One, and it might be on the Nintendo Switch. It might be. And then there was Monster Hunter 4 on the Nintendo 3DS. I'm surprised they haven't made a Monster Hunter 5 yet for the PS5 and Xbox Series X and Nintendo Switch 2, unless I'm mistaken. But for what I know, they haven't. But Monster Hunter is an action RPG where you play as like a warrior character with a big ass sword and go around and slay dragons. You know, you like literally kick ass in this game. You know, and then once you kill the monster, get the soul and everything, get the power and everything, and then go on to the next monster, do the same thing. So it's repetitive and everything, but if you like repetitive RPG type of games, then you'll like this game. But I think the repetitiveness brings us down to my 4th spot. I can't put it any higher because of that reason. But overall, from what I did play of this game, it's still a pretty good game. I'd like to play this game with a GameCube controller, honestly, but I don't think I can. There is a Wii controller right there. It shows it on the back that you can play it with that, so maybe I'll try that out. But some of these Wii games you use the remote and the control, that little nunchuck thing. It isn't terribly bad. I mean, look at Resident Evil 4. That game actually plays really well on the Wii. So it's not possible to make Wii games with a little bit of motion control good. But sometimes it's just a frustrating pain in the ass. It really depends on the game. So it worked well for Resident Evil 4, Ghostbusters, and a couple other games like some of these RPG games. They did pretty well, with playing it and everything. But yeah, that's my opinion on Monster Hunter 3. It's a good game, but yeah, it gets repetitive after time. We've got 3 left, and I'm going to go ahead and give it to the last story. I have this in a copy case. I don't have it complete. I have just this in a copy case. There it is. I have it. This came out at the end of the Wii's life cycle, and this is a damn good game. Really great game on the Wii. A lot of fun, great story. It's you and 2 other people, I think, in the game. It's a cover system mechanic where you can, take cover from enemies, but they can eventually get to you. The game is fun. The graphics look great. XC did an excellent job at this game. XC knew what they were doing when they made RPG games, because they made this, Pandora's Tower. They made a couple of, I was going to say Xenoblade Chronicles, but I see that it's made by Nintendo, so excluding them. But there was a few others. Fragile Dreams, I believe, was made by XC as well. And that's a good anime-style RPG game on the Wii. But the graphics look great in this game. Got kind of a cloudy type town. It's very dark looking, but it's a big, massive city with a world that you can explore in and everything, and fight monsters and shit. It's really good. It's one of the finest RPG games on the Wii, and it's trending right now. It's getting expensive, so I recommend picking up a copy when you get a chance if you have a Wii, because it's one of the best RPG games on the Wii in my honest opinion. But do hurry up because it's like around 40 to 50 bucks right now on eBay if I'm not mistaken, and it's gonna go up in value. I have a funny feeling. I mean, yeah, we've been like what 15 years since the Wii stopped making games. Although they did make the Just Dance games until about like Just Dance 2020, which was the last one. But there was no games other than that really. Just a bunch of Just Dance games that went out after the Wii just went down, you know. But anyways, I'm getting a little off topic here. Last Story, great game, definitely worth buying. Get it before it gets too expensive and it gets in the $100 range. And this game I was thinking about putting at number one, but honestly I couldn't. It was missing something. It wasn't as good as the N64 game, and it wasn't as good as the one on the Nintendo GameCube, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. So with that considered, I just couldn't do it. I had to be at number two and no higher. Normally Mario is excellent. It's gonna make number one almost every time. Except Mario Kart, I feel is like in the top five. But there have been one or two Mario Kart games that blown me away and made it in the top three. Anyways, with this, it's an RPG game. It is nice to see a nice new story from the ground up with this game. With that magician that like stole some stuff and had to go get it back. Mario. You can later on play as Luigi and Peach and Toad, I think, are in this game as playable characters, if I'm not mistaken. It is nice that you can like change the environment. So like you can make it look 2D going this way, back and forth. And then you can change the perspective to where it looks more 3D. Right there. It shows you a screenshot there so you can see that. So that was a nice touch for this game. That definitely changed the scope of Super Paper Mario in general, because it didn't have that back then. I mean, the one on the N64 did look kind of 3D, but it didn't do that. It didn't make it an option to like change the environment there. But the mechanics in the game, like the RPG elements, just seemed like they kind of got away from it a little bit. Made it more of a platformer game, which is what holds this game back from being number one, in my honest opinion. Had they have stick with the RPG formula in this game, it probably would have made a number one spot. But because they took that away, it just doesn't make it to the number one spot. But I like this game. I still think it's very good. I think it's charming. I like the storyline of it. I still think it's a fun game. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention there is a Paper Mario game on the Switch as well. The Origami King. I got that as well. And there was one on the 3DS which was okay. The Sticker Star game, that was alright. But it wasn't amazing. I just had to throw that out there. But yeah, overall, this is a good game, just not my number one RPG game on the Wii. Number one RPG game of all time on the Wii. It's been released on the Switch as a remaster, and it was also on the Wii U. I don't know if they changed anything about the game, but it's none other than Xenoblade Chronicles. Great series. They're up to the third game in the series. Who knows? They might do a fourth one for the Nintendo Switch too. But it's a great game. This has so many hours to beat this game. Like this is like a fucking like 80 plus hour game just to beat this game. I still haven't even gotten very far in this game. But it's great. It is a great RPG game on the Wii, and the towns to explore are fucking massive. Um, the grass in the game looks real. Honest to God, it looks real. I mean, maybe a little bit better in the Wii U version and the Switch version, but still, from what I saw, the Wii version still kicks ass. It still looks great graphically. You know, and the turn-based combat in this game is superb. It's excellent. It's just a great game overall. Nintendo made a great new IP. Is that how you say it? EP or IP? Something like that. But yeah, it's a great game on the Wii, and there's just so much to do. So many enemies to fight. So many towns to explore. The world is fucking massive. Like, oh my gosh. Holy shit. It's just huge. And the menu system in this game was just crazy. Like all the items and stuff that you can get in this game is just amazing. Like all the swords that you can upgrade, all the new weapons all the new weapons you can get in the game, just mind-boggling. Like over like what 2,000 or something, just insane. The amount that you could get, for weapons, and the combat works in this game. You whack the enemies, the enemy whacks you, go back and forth till one of you is dead. And you get to switch between the characters too, so it's not just you on the quest. You got like 2 or 3 other characters that help you out in the game, exploring the towns. And the only really annoying thing is like they love to talk. Repetitive dialogue can be said in this game, where they remind you where something is to go. After a while, you're like, okay, shut the hell up. Other than that, the game's great. You can't complain. It's a great RPG game on the Wii. I know at one point this game was really expensive. It was like $60 or something. It's cheap now because they've re-released this game so many times. So I think this is the cheapest version to get. I mean, I got this in a lot with other games, so I had to snag it like $50 or something for like 7 or 8 other games. I thought it was worth it with this game in there. But yeah, great game. Definitely worth buying if you have a Wii still or a Wii U, because Wii U is backwards compatible with all Wii games. It's just a great game. You can't go wrong with Xenoblade Chronicles, and it is the very best RPG game on the Wii. Now, before I forget, I did mention briefly that there is Pandora's Tower on the Wii, which is an RPG game on the Wii. It's an action RPG. That's a really good one made by Xseed. I can't forget that. So that's also an honorable mention here too, but I'm mentioning it before we end this video because it's good. And that one I don't think is talked about as frequently. Games of War talked about it in his RPG video. I saw that video of his. Check his videos out. He's pretty good. I wish he'd upload more videos, but he hasn't uploaded anything in like 2 years. Hopefully I'll get back in the game and start making more videos because I enjoy his videos. But he mentioned Pandora's Tower in it and the storyline behind the game and everything. I know there's also Fragile Dreams, and there's a couple other RPG games on the Wii. But this is just a video I wanted to cover on some great RPG games on the Wii. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it informative and interesting. I am your host, Larry the Batman Fan. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that way you never miss an upload. Be sure to subscribe to Larry the Batman Fan for more gaming content. We do all sorts of gaming videos here on this channel. We also do rant videos every now and then, but I've been slowing down on that. We do religion videos, and we do comic book related videos, and music related videos, and movie related videos on this channel here. A jack of all trades, basically. I am your host, Larry the Batman Fan. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and take care. Bye.